The $20 billion Boeing 737 MAX scandal explained what most people get wrong. In March 2019, the unthinkable happened. An Ethiopian Airlines Boeing 737 MAX crashed shortly after takeoff, claiming 157 lives. Just 5 months prior, a Lion Air flight met the same fate under eerily similar circumstances. Together, these two disasters grounded the once revered Boeing 737 MAX fleet, leading to profound questions about safety, corporate ethics, and the global aviation industry. But what many don't realize is that the fallout from these crashes extended far beyond the wreckage. It targeted the very foundation of trust placed in one of America's most iconic corporations. The total cost of this debacle? Approximately $20 billion. To understand the enormity of this crisis, we need to unpack the complexities of the Boeing 737 MAX project. Launched in 2011 as an upgrade to Boeing's widely popular 737 line, the MAX was designed to compete with the Airbus A320neo by offering increased fuel efficiency and enhanced performance. Boeing marketed the aircraft heavily, touting it as the future of commercial aviation. The MAX quickly garnered attention, amassing over 5,000 orders from airlines worldwide, representing over $600 billion in expected sales revenue. However, the allure of quick profits began to overshadow critical safety considerations. The MAX featured new engines that were heavier and larger than previous models, creating unique aerodynamic challenges. To address the resultant changes in flight dynamics, Boeing implemented the Maneuvering Characteristics Augmentation System, or MCAS, a software designed to prevent stalls during flight. However, Boeing downplayed the significance of MCAS to both regulators and pilots, focusing instead on achieving quick FAA certification, allowing the MAX to enter commercial service rapidly. The design and operational reliance on MCAS became a major focal point of scrutiny post-crash. Rather than equipping pilots with adequate training regarding this critical system, Boeing assured airlines that existing 737 pilots could efficiently operate the MAX with minimal additional instruction. This decision speaks volumes about the company's prioritization of profit and market share over long-term safety and pilot preparedness. To fully grasp how we arrived at these devastating outcomes, let's break down the mechanisms that allowed these failures to occur. The first major concern was in Boeing's approach to regulatory safety checks. Traditionally, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, would extensively review new systems and designs, ensuring they met rigorous safety standards. However, Boeing, in a move to expedite certification, received approval to self-certify many aspects of the MAX. This arrangement allowed Boeing to avoid some of the conventional safety barriers in place. Under the guise of efficiency, Boeing reduced the FAA's oversight, assuming more responsibility for assuring their aircraft's safety. The consequences were tragic. Investigative reports revealed that engineers raised alarms about the safety of the MCAS system before both crashes. Internal communications highlighted concerns that pilot training was insufficient, but the pressure to push the project forward was relentless. The culture within Boeing shifted, emphasizing rapid production over safety. Following these two tragic accidents, the repercussions manifested significantly on Boeing, the airlines utilizing the MAX, and subsequently the global aviation industry. The aircraft were grounded worldwide starting in March 2019, leading to immediate financial turmoil. Boeing faced significant contractual penalties from airlines, who demanded compensation for grounded aircraft and lost revenues. The company reported losses of $636 million in the first quarter of 2019 and continued to face staggering financial fallout in subsequent quarters. The total expenses related to the MAX grounding were estimated at around $20 billion by 2021. This figure encompassed a range of costs, including refunds for approximately 400 undelivered aircraft, compensation to airlines for canceled flights, and various legal fees stemming from lawsuits filed by victims' families. Boeing also incurred expenses related to compensation packages for furloughed employees, training costs for transitioning pilots, and damages due to the tarnished company reputation. The inflating costs painted a portrait of an aerospace titan grappling desperately with a public relations nightmare. The direct impact on the workforce was equally severe. Boeing, known for its extensive employment base, saw thousands of workers laid off as production delays persisted throughout 2020 and 2021. The company cut about 30,000 jobs in 2020 alone, a significant hit to an economy already reeling from the COVID-19 pandemic. The cascading effects of this job loss rippled through communities, affecting local economies and shaking the foundations of numerous supply chains tied to the Boeing ecosystem. In addition to the financial crisis, the scrutiny resulted in a plethora of lawsuits against Boeing. Families of victims sought accountability, claiming Boeing prioritized profit over safety. By 2023, Boeing faced more than 100 lawsuits, with an impending class action lawsuit consolidating many individual grievances into one. These cases were set against the backdrop of an aggressive DOJ investigation, scrutinizing the company's business practices leading up to the crashes. While Boeing grappled with its internal challenges, a systematic attempt to downplay the severity of the issues at hand became apparent. Although there was widespread awareness inside engineering circles that the MCAS system disproportionately relied on a single sensor, which was a glaring vulnerability, concerns were not escalated appropriately. Internal emails revealed that engineers recognized the system was not safe, but felt fear of retaliation for raising alarms within the corporate hierarchy. When they tried to communicate their concerns, they were met with evasiveness, a chilling reminder of how corporate cultures can stifle essential dialogues. As the investigation unfolded, the FAA's role came under scrutiny, raising broader questions about regulatory oversight within the aviation sector. In a bid for political accountability, lawmakers interrogated leading executives at Boeing and the FAA. Carefully crafted narratives were challenged, revealing the potential inadequacies of delegation protocols wherein Boeing self-certified critical safety measures while failing to meet foundational safety standards. This prompted the FAA to rethink its regulatory strategy and led to intensified scrutiny on manufacturers, reeling amidst the urgent calls for transparency. The ramifications of the 737 MAX disaster extended deeply into corporate governance structures, revealing how oversight, accountability, and ethical leadership need prioritizing in corporate frameworks. The company's internal culture came under mounting pressure to transform from pursuit of profit to a commitment to safety, transparency, and respect for the people who operate their aircraft. Aviation safety and corporate accountability became focal points of discussions in regulatory and industry forums as a direct consequence of this debacle. Overall, the implications of this tragedy ripple through both the aviation sector and broader corporate governance frameworks within industries worldwide. The lessons learned from Boeing encompass the dangers of prioritizing speed over safety, the importance of a culture that encourages speaking up, and the necessity for stringent regulatory oversight. As a viewer, this tale of the Boeing 737 MAX may seem distant, but carries significant relevance to each of us. The next time you board a flight, consider the intricate system of checks and balances that ensures not only operational efficiency but safety, an aspect of travel that can often be overlooked. Economic interests must always come second to the fundamental requirement of ensuring human lives are not put at risk for the sake of profit. The story of the Boeing 737 MAX is a stark reminder that in the world of commerce, we must never lose sight of the people at the core of the industry. A collective responsibility exists among manufacturers, regulators, and consumers to foster a safe and transparent marketplace for the future of global travel. If you found this story interesting, hit that like button and subscribe so we can keep making these videos. Tomorrow, we are diving into a story that is just as shocking. Toshiba, 7 years of falsified profits. You will not want to miss it. I will see you there.